How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Rocky Mountain EDC channel. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at a very budget friendly multi-tool, and that is the Ozark Trail multi-tool with pliers. Now, when it comes to multi-tools in the market, there is a lot of options. I would say, as far as tools or knives go, multi-tools are probably some of the most approachable and really going to offer the most options when it comes to the choices that you have. Now, the biggest thing when it comes to multi-tools is obviously the multi-function of the tool, but also when it comes to the price ranges, it really is going to come down to the quality of the tool itself and some very minor things that you'll notice the difference between something that is very budget friendly, like this Ozark Trail 12-in-1 multi-tool, versus something made by Leatherman or any other reputable multi-tool or knife company, is you're going to notice some small differences. The big thing, though, when we talk about these multi-tools, is they're going to do the job that you need it to do, regardless of the price that you're going for in terms of budget or really expensive. For the most part, they're going to do the things that you need them to do. They're going to have all the components that you might be looking for. But it's really the small things, the little details that might make the difference between, do you really want to spend the amount of money on a super expensive multi-tool like a Leatherman, or can you just settle for a very cheap, inexpensive multi-tool that you can pick up from Walmart? So that's kind of what we're going to look at today. And again, this is the Ozark Trail Walmart brand Chinese-made multi-tool. So right off the bat, looking at the tool itself, it does come with this nylon pouch that you can use for belt carry if you so choose. If you don't wish to use the belt carry, obviously this still offers as a nice kind of storage place to keep it housed in. I'm not super big if I'm going to carry a multi-tool to have it on some type of pouch like this. I'll just throw it in my pocket, especially if it's going to be a decent size. With kind of looking at the exterior of the tool, it has this kind of plasticky or coated metal kind of scales, if you want to call it that, that does offer a form of grip. It's not a super cold metallic feel like this Leatherman Sidekick, which is completely metallic stainless steel all the way around. So it is going to have a different feel. It does actually have a little bit of texture. It has a warmer, softer feel. And actually, when using the tool itself, it does offer a little bit of grip and less of a cold metallic feeling, which is kind of nice. The big thing for me when I'm looking at multi-tools is, can you access the tools when the pliers or the main component of the multi-tool, in this case the pliers, some have the main component as scissors, is can you access the tools from the exterior? And for me, that is a big must. I do not enjoy multi-tools that you have to open up to access the other functions. It kind of takes away from the ease of use aspect. But in this case, for this budget-friendly Ozark Trail multi-tool, it does have access to all the other tools on the exterior of the tool itself, except using the pliers themselves. So kind of looking at this front-facing side, we have the two main tools that you can access, and we have the main blade, which is going to kind of have a sheep's foot style blade here, and it does offer this almost kind of a thumb opening that you can use to actually open it up. I will say that with the way it's designed, this is not the most comfortable to try to access one-handed. Even though on some other tools like this Leatherman Sidekick, they give plenty of access and it's really easy to open up. So they're trying to implement and kind of imitate that function, but they don't really execute well on the actual ability to get that thumb hole opening. You can do it in a pinch, but really your best option is just to use 2 hands and to kind of treat it like a nail nick. So we see that here. Very basic blade. You do have some belly. Obviously, you have this kind of sheep's foot style kind of drop up here at the tip, and there is no locking feature on this. So this is going to be kind of a slip style. There is a slight back spring or detent that keeps the blade open, but again, it's not going to keep the blade secure. Then on the other side, we have a saw. In this case, this saw is going to be predominantly good for going through wood material based upon the aggressive and kind of bidirectional patterns of the teeth. This is going to be good for wood, not necessarily just serrations like you would find on other serrated knives, but it does have that feature as well. So the big thing you're going to notice with the steel and all the tools on a multi-tool like this is that the steel is very soft, meaning when it comes to the blade edge, this isn't going to hold an edge very long. It's going to be very easy to sharpen. It's going to be, in the field or in the task that you're doing. If you do have a way to sharpen it, you're going to be able to sharpen it very easily, but it's not going to hold that edge for very long. And I would say that as far as corrosion, this is probably a very stain resistant or a stainless steel, but it's not going to hold that edge for very long. So just keeping that in mind. So we have those basic blade and saws, and then if we kind of flip the tool around, we have access to a can opener. And the big thing that I kind of notice with this can opener is, again, the kind of beveled, sharpened part here. It's kind of like a chisel grind. This isn't sharp at all. And again, this is kind of what you're getting at this price range. Is you're going to get some inaccuracies, some quality control issues. Again, this is quickly machined and processed, and this is just not a functional. I mean, look at that. There is no real tapering down to this kind of scraping or chiseled grind edge down there. So I really don't think that this is going to do the greatest at actually accessing and opening up a can if you need it. So keeping that kind of stuff in mind, obviously you can go in and you can kind of modify and get that to where you want it to. With that soft steel, you can easily do that. But again, at this price point, you're going to get weird things like that just don't make the tool as high of quality. It's a small thing like that. And then we have, on the same side, we have a cap lifter and a standard flathead screwdriver. And I have used the flathead here just in a kind of a recent task. And again, with that softer steel, I don't know if you can notice, if you can kind of see on the camera here, but that softer steel, it gets warped and kind of ground down very easily. And that's one thing I kind of noticed with a lot of cheaper tools like this is this tip can start to bend, it can start to get imperfections, and that's really due to the softer steel. So again, if you're going to be using a cheaper tool like this, don't be relying on it like you might with a Leatherman. It's going to be a little bit more well built, that the steel itself isn't going to just warp and bend on you, right? I don't have any issues or doubts that this Leatherman Sidekick and the tools that it offers is going to have issues with the bit driver, or in this case the flathead or the Phillips head, getting warped. On a cheaper tool like this, that's something you can expect. So doing some light driving tasks, just around the house, maybe it's on a panel or a light fixture or an outlet, that's going to be fine. But if you're really doing some hard driving, this is not really going to hold up in the long term. So just keeping that in mind. And then we have on this side, we have a wire stripper component here that you can use as well. I have not used this um, in my own practice. You can also use this as having an eyelet for threading anything that you need, but really not going to be anything special. Again, haven't used that. And then what else do we have in here? Yes, we have just kind of a basic awl. And again, if you kind of look at this awl, it's really not executed as well as you should. Again, there should be kind of a chisel ground bevel here that really helps with that piercing into, let's say, leather or any type of material or fabric that you need to try to drill a hole in. This is not sharp at all. And again, that's going to be kind of an imperfection that you're going to find with cheaper multi-tools like this. I haven't used the awl itself, but I can guarantee it's going to do the job, but it's going to kind of not be as smooth of operating or use as you would find on a higher end multi-tool, but it's going to do the job. And again, the soft steel, you can go in and you can get that kind of chisel on there to where you need it to be. Again, that's something that obviously nobody wants to do with their multi-tools, but you can do it. You're not completely stuck just with what the tool has, right? You can adjust it how you need it. And then on this side, we have a ruler here, just 2 inches, and also a fish descaler here. Again, this is very soft, and again, you don't want a scaler, a descaler, super aggressive, but this is very soft. And again, you kind of want a moderate range between sharp and kind of mildly dull, and this is really dull. I don't know how well this would function in descaling a fish, but you do have that ruler function if you need it. That's always helpful with very small basic tasks. You do have that component. And then the last 2 tools on this side, you're going to have a basic file. The nice thing about this file, it does have on one side, it has a single pattern file here going in one direction, then it has a bi-directional cross pattern here as well. And then this tip here, this could be used as a larger flathead, or you could also use it as a pry tool as well. So that component is nice as well. And this is really, when it comes to files, again, this is not that aggressive. I don't really know how functional that's going to be compared to some higher end tools, but it's not really that aggressive. Again, kind of what you're getting for the price on the tool. And then the last component on this side is going to be just a basic Phillips head here. Again, that soft steel, I would recommend to not use this if you're really going to be driving very aggressively. This is not going to hold up very well. This is soft steel. It's going to probably warp and bend. So those are the side tool functions, and then getting into the actual main function of the multi-tool, and that's going to be the pliers. And really for me, when it comes to plier-oriented multi-tools, is the pliers need to be the best tool in the package. You can get away with the other tools kind of being meh, right? Again, multi-tool, it's not going to be excelling in one thing very well. But when it comes to this is the main dedicated function, and this is kind of how I determine how well the tool is. I will say, just kind of a minor note, there is this kind of, I don't want to call it jimping, but this kind of plasticky kind of jimping on the insides here. And this actually offers a good amount of grip on the tool itself, which is actually kind of nice and not something you really see a lot on multi-tools like this, is this kind of jimping or kind of abrasion area here to help give you a little extra grip. As far as the pliers yourselves, you have kind of the needle nose end, very mild. This isn't going to offer much grip in retaining anything with these really small teeth here. I mean, this is almost, they might as well have just kept it flat with how very shallow those teeth are. And then you obviously have the larger bit for the classic pliers if you need to get around any nuts or bolts. And then you have the kind of wire cutter section down in the back end. And really, that's kind of where I notice a big difference in a lot of these multi-tools when it comes to the cheap versus the more expensive, is that the wire cutters tend to really suck on the really cheap ones. They just don't get it right in terms of the kind of the chiseling out. And again, that softer steel, these are going to be warped very easily. And that's kind of one of the big things that I'm interested in kind of seeing how this works out. Again, on some light materials, right? Maybe you're, I don't know, cutting very thin wire, or you're cutting some fishing line or something like that. This is probably going to be okay. And again, keeping in mind that this isn't going to offer the best kind of grip on whatever material it is. But for basic tasks that you need in your everyday life or around the house, this is going to do the job just fine. It has pretty decent spring on there, so I think it would do just fine. But that is the Ozark 12-in-1 multi-tool. You can pick it up for about $10 at Walmart. So this is very inexpensive when it comes to multi-tool. And again, at that price range, you're getting what you would expect. But if you don't really want to spend $60 to $200 or plus dollars, now again, the Leatherman Sidekick's not $200. This is probably around the $60 price range. But you are paying for just that little extra increase in quality. So just keep that in mind, right? If you just need a basic tool and you don't want to spend the extra money, this is going to do fine. This is going to get your basic tasks done. Nothing special, nothing grandiose, right? But that is the Ozark Trail 12-in-1 multi-tool. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. See ya.